campers, this is Darren with My RV Works. Today we are in Sequim, Washington. It's spring, it's beautiful, we're feeling good. And the task today is to take this and put it in here. And now what is this? Darren, you're saying, what are you doing? Let's say that you have a Class C, a Class B, a Class A, and they have these ASME tanks on them. And you don't want to have to break camp just to go fill up your propane. So what this is they Sturgis stay longer, name it whatever you want to, but basically what this will allow you to do is put it in line with your supply hose that feeds your RV all of your propane, and then you'll take this off right there. You'll get another hose, you'll connect it to your little barbecue grill, and then this can stay put in the camp space, and then you can just get your little containers and put them in right there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put this in. It's really simple. Don't really need a lot of tools. This is something I think most people should be able to do. If you're an RVer, you should be able to handle this. Just a couple simple wrenches, and we're going to scooch this over, put this in place. Okay, so if you've seen my other videos, this is one of my favorite tools. They're used for so many wonderful things, but we're going to get in here and we're going to pop this off. And there we go, it's coming. And so there we go. Well, that's why I stock these. Actually, I do. You get them from auto parts stores, but it's this little one-way thingy. Okay, no big deal. And so now we'll get this one off. The second one's usually easier because you can get in there and use the cover. Okay, like I said, two for two. Go to like an auto parts store and get these little plastic rivet things. This is going to come off. Now behind here you have your gas valve. I've got another video where we're going to go through how to adjust all these things, so just go look for that video on that. If you take this off and you notice that this is not aiming down or within a 45, that's a problem. Okay, so we're going to make sure this is turned off. Okay, and now I always like using backup wrenches, but in this instance it's not critical. The thing that's interesting about this is these are left-hand threads. Okay, so righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Well, this is going to be lefty-tighty, righty-loosey. So hold on, I'm getting my head wrapped around. We're going to go right. Where's that the other side? Let me put it this way. One of these is going to be right-handed threads, and one's going to be left-handed threads. So let's see which way we're going to go here. Okay, so these are opposite threads. Okay. Now that hissing is the pressure that's in the RV coach because I've got the valve off. Okay, so it's hissing coming from the RV. Okay, so now that wasn't so bad. This then goes on, and again it's going to be lefty, tighty, righty. I'm not even going to try to figure it out. Okay, so he's going to go there, and this one is going to go here. Okay, now the next problem you see is, well, they already had holes for us to put this here, but we want to put a cover over it. So we're going to put this here. We'll drill a new hole for this, and then we'll put a brand new rivet through it, and it'll hold it. Does that make sense? Okay, it's already open to the elements, so it's not a terrible thing that it's offset a little bit. But so what we want to do is keep this. I think what I might do is orient this up, and the reason I'm going to orient this up is because my other hose might come through and around and maybe into the top. Because if I orient it this way, well, then I'm going to have to keep my door open when my hose comes out, aren't I? So let's orient this up, okay? And then my hose can come through the top, if that makes sense. So let's see, righty-tighty, lefty-tighty. So I got to visualize this. And then we have to get the gas sniffer, because every time you play with the gas, we're not going to need to adjust the LP, but we are going to have to sniff for gas leaks. Okay, and I am going the right way, correct? Yeah, I think I am. Okay, because everything's backwards. It's backwards day. That's what my kids say. Today's backwards day. Great, leave your room a mess. Oh, well, not that way. Everything's backwards except cleaning my room. Okay, we're liking that. Now, if we ever need to adjust this again, it's going to be, we'll have to move this to move it out. But hey, it's adjusted. You should have this adjusted once every year. So whoever's going to adjust this, they might need to move this out. But you see, it's very simple to loosen these things. So it's no big deal. And so then I would, if I had to do this, if this was me doing this, I might loose, you saw how easy it was to put that in. Move it back, tighten it up, turn it on, make my adjustments, great, everybody's happy, and then go and put this back in. So it's an extra step, but putting these things in is relatively easy. Okay. Now, when you're turning it, you don't want to turn this inner valve because you'll break the seal here. So I'm going to get my gas sniffer, but I'm going to turn this on and just smell for gas and listen for gas. I don't expect any bad things, but that basically is it. And so I'm going to get my gas sniffer. So, and the next thing where I'm going to drill a hole, this is going to go okay. We'll drill a hole right here, put another rivet in it. Here we go. Yay. Okay, we now have a new hole right there for my new rivet. I like my rivets better because they, when you press it, you can take a screwdriver and pop this out. So I like mine better. The manufacturers do not consult with my RV Works when they decide which rivets to use. So I am going to push this in there, and then ta-da! Okay, now a couple notes to take away from this. We've played with the gas lines, so it's important that we check for leaks. Okay, so I have a gas sniffer here, which is ready to go. So we're green, we're happy, and so if he detects LP or anything, he's going to go crazy and start beeping at us and turning red. So and we're on. Okay, we're fully on, and so I want to look for any LP leaks because I don't want that to. Nope. Okay, we're good. Okay, no leaks. Yay. You could use a soap bottle, and that works fine. I like to use the gas sniffer first. It does more general area. And then if I were to found a leak, then I'll get the soap bottle to identify the leak. Okay, now a couple things here. We just put in a tap, if you will, into our LP supply line. Notice it's upstream of the regulator, okay? Basically, it's connected to the tank. A couple things you're going to want to do. If you are going to be connected to a cylinder, I would recommend closing this. Okay, so this is closed. Let the cylinder provide all the pressure to go into here. Why, Darren? Why would you do that? Well, if you have your cylinder here and you have this open, and this is a what is it, a 12-gallon tank, then guess what all this cylinder is going to do? Now you've lost a lot of pressure because now all this pressure that's in this cylinder is going to be shared with the void that's in here, and you're going to lose your pressure of your tank. So if that makes sense, then I would close this all the way and use this cylinder as my source. Don't leave them both open is my point. Okay, now we're upstream of our regulator. So that means that anything I put into here or anything I take out of here is gonna need a regulator. So let's say that I connect my my little campfire, those little campfires that run on LP. We need to make sure that that campfire or that grill or that whatever has a regulator on it. Okay, now if your RV has a port on the outside for a grill, great, that's wonderful because it is benefiting from this regulator that's regulating the gas flow. So there, I think that's all I wanted to say. So now let's play. Let's actually get some toys out here and let's connect this and let's see if it's going to work for us. All right, so we put this in. When we started putting our hoses on, what we did was we went to town in the metropolis of Sequim, and we got some different hoses to play because this particular manufacturer has the small, that is an 1/8" flare fitting on this particular manufacturer. It's an 1/8" flare fitting, and this one is going to be a 1" 20 thread, so it's like a 120 fitting here. This would be your typical kind of fitting for those propane cylinders, and this would be if you have a travel trailer. this is the kind of fitting that would go right into one of those little auto changeover things. Makes sense. But this particular manufacturer gives you two options. And so we've got all the hoses to fit in both. We made this kind of at a V angle so that we can run them through this big opening and come out of the ground here. But now what we've got here is I've got this turned off and I've got this cylinder turned on. We've checked for leaks. I got soap all over me. And so this is on. There's no leaks. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking the propane from this cylinder and I'm feeding in my entire RV. I can run my water heater, my stove, my refrigerator, my furnace, all from this cylinder right here. So that's coming in, and we've tapped off of that. So this one we've got connected to a toy. And now remember I was talking about the regulator? Look here, we have a regulator because we have a campground fireplace that runs off of propane. So here's a regulator that we must have. Why do we have that? Because there's no regulator from this cylinder into this to this hose. We need a regulator. And so I hope all this helps. And it's just a really simple operation. There are different manufacturers. Some of them have the quick connect fitting. Some of them have this type of fitting. So just shop around and hope that these numbers help you. And so now we are going to sit around a campfire and wrap everything up. So let's do that next.
Happy campers say my RV works.